So most detailers' first question when they start their business is, how do I speed up a detail? So I want to give you in like 6 minutes or less the formula to do that. Now I know it sounds crazy when you read a title like the 5 areas of an interior that I don't actually detail, but the first area of an interior that I rarely ever detail is going to be the dashboard, the radio buttons, and the console area. But the first area I want to highlight in many interiors that I never touch is going to be the dashboard and the radio area. Now, in my business, most of the vehicles I see are maintenance clients, which means I see them on a regular basis. Generally speaking, the max time I allow a maintenance client to wait before I see their vehicle is about 2 months. I didn't start there, but I worked up to there over time. The reason I don't ever touch the dashboard or the radios, or if I do touch the radio, it's literally with almost a dry or damp microfiber towel and I just wipe it down, is because these are areas where dust settles periodically, but even to see the dust settle, it would take, 6 months, 8 months of never touching it to actually see that buildup. It's not an area that people really touch, and if you're maintaining a vehicle, you do not even have to touch it as the detailer. So most detailers are trying to think of products and tools that they can spend money on that will allow them to speed up. The reality is, if you change your business model ever so slightly into dealing with maintenance clients rather than always dealing with new customers, your average time for detailing things like interiors can literally be cut in half, if not more. I mean, you can go from 3 hours to like 45 minutes. Now, I want to get into the second area here because most detailers literally waste like an hour doing this. But before I do that, because I'm not highlighting specific tools and products in this video, it's more business, I want to make sure you guys can get access to any of the tools and products that I suggest as like staples for detailers. So I have a top 12 tools and products list that's totally for free. I'll link it up in the YouTube description box below. The second area are the door panels. I cannot tell you how many detailers watch, even people like me on YouTube, use a detail brush and kind of agitate all of the door panels and then use their steamer. The only time I take a bunch of measures to clean a door panel like that is if I'm dealing with a car that I've never really seen and it's got kind of that thin layer of grease, grime, and grunge, where when you actually detail it out like that, you can see the color difference where it gets restored back to that original kind of light tan or light gray color. In any maintenance client or any average vehicle that doesn't have that, I can literally take a spritz of my chemical on my towel, wipe down the door panel, and move on with my life. I don't even have to get into the cracks and crevices with an air compressor or a steamer because there's nothing inside of them. Now, I would love to see some comments below this video from those of you who are challenging yourself to spend less time on these areas and how difficult it is, because most detailers hear this and they're like, yeah, it's totally logical, but it's really hard to get yourself sometimes to get yourself to pull away and say, okay, I'm not gonna detail this. I'm just gonna wipe it down really quickly and I'm gonna move on with my life. What most detailers don't understand is that in moving on, when the detail is finally done, you'll see that the thing that you were hyper focused on in this one area blends in and folds into the overall picture, and there was no need to hyper focus on it. So you often have to force yourself to move on from these areas. Now, this one's a little counterintuitive, but the floor mats in this truck are a great example. These are rubber floor mats that are covering, of course, just your classic carpeted floor, and I did not remove the rubber floor mats from the truck. I actually sprayed my cleaner on them, agitated them with my steamer, and mopped it up, and I just vacuumed around the exposed areas of the carpet on the borders that have a little bit of crumbs on them, and I did not shampoo the carpets whatsoever. This is a great example of an area where detailers waste so much time, it boggles my mind. The floor mats are covering all of the carpet. There's nothing underneath. There's no need to shampoo the carpets. There's no need to even protect those carpets. That's what the rubber floor mat is there for. Clean the top of it and move on with your life. Now, the last area you'll see me treat very differently in this truck are the leather seats. Basically, I'll spray a little bit of cleaner on my microfiber towel, wipe down the face of the seat, use a dry detailing brush to brush out the seams in certain areas if it's necessary, and I move on to the next seat. I barely even touch the back seats because it doesn't require anything. The only leather seats that require a lot of attention are those that are sat in and things get put in them and the car hasn't been detailed in 3 years. This truck is not that, and on average, my clients are not that. So at most, I'm actually trying to just brush out the seams and not even touch the leather seat. The other thing to understand is that on seats like this, there's no need to clean the backs of them or the sides of them. The face of them is the only thing that has even 1% of dirt, and so I don't waste my time with any other part of the seat. You can see how when you start to combine these things one after the other, and it's not to say that some of these areas don't require more attention, because they do, but when you start to identify the areas like these top 5 that I just named that don't require attention, you begin to become a very fast detailer. Now guys, like I said, I would love to see some comments below this video if you resonate with this or if you've implemented some of the strategies I'm talking about in this video in your detailing business. Explain what you did, where you did, and why you did it, because I think not only would I benefit from reading it, but many other people in the community would benefit from reading it. And I would love to hear your input on this particular topic for those of you who are running a detailing business. Like I said, grab the top 12 tools and products list in the YouTube description box box below because those products are timeless and they will seriously help you out. And if you got some value from this video, make sure to maintain the like button by smashing it and turning it blue, because it's the only way that I can see that you got some value from this video. And as always, from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, thanks for being involved. Keep working hard, and I'll see you in the next video.